Hello YouTube, this is Andre from the Swell Dudes Fish Tanks, and it's time for another update. So this is the 90, and you can see that a bunch of things have changed. First of all, I removed the pennywort that was growing there, and I also removed the I moved the water sprite that was growing here. So I planted one plant of water sprite there, and I let that grow out for a couple of weeks. Then I trimmed it all up and I stuck all the small pieces in there, and that's gonna really bush out, and that's gonna be a lot of water sprite. Yeah, and there was a Klein bar sword there. I removed that. So also these two Klein bar swords over here, they sent 12 new runners. I waited for all of them to get new roots, and then I took them out of the tank and gave them away and sold them and put them in other tanks. Actually, here's a few here that I kept for for other tanks. I haven't found space for them yet. You can see that I'm progressively thickening the Bacopa caroliniana, and I think this is called a dwarf sword. It's beginning to, carpet. This plant, I forget what it's called, but it's producing new plants. That right there is a new plant, and behind it right there is a new plant. It's looking fantastic. The rainbows are looking very nice as usual. The red tiger lotus right there is starting to I can see it now. Okay, and these guys, this is crypt spiralis, I think, and this is starting to explode. So there's a new plant right there. There's a new plant right there. It's just beginning to grow. There's another new plant right there. It's just beginning to grow. There's a new plant right there, and there's another new plant right in the back there. And there's also new plants in the back right there. So this plant is taking over this half of the tank, just like I wanted to. So in like a few months, this entire tank will be just crypt spiralis, and hopefully I'll be able to maintain that red tiger lotus in the middle. Yeah, so that's how things are gonna look. This side's gonna be, hopefully this side's gonna be all crypt, and that side right there is gonna be water sprite, Klein bar swords. I really hope they get taller than that, because if they don't, then I'll replace them with a different plant. And this plant will carpet all through here. It's already sending runners, and I'm guessing there's probably runners going all the way there and there, because that plant likes to send runners a long way. The pennywort I put in this tank. Also, there was a massive clump of Elodia right there. I threw that out. Meaning I didn't put it in the in the garbage or anything. There's no risk of it going into a local stream. I put it on a compost heap, so you gotta get rid of these plants responsibly, because some of them are invasive species. So 90 is doing very well. Rainbows are not too happy because they just lost a whole lot of cover from the water sprite that I trimmed, and the pennywort that I trimmed, and this massive clump of Elodia that I took out, but that's alright. They'll be fine. These rainbows are very nice. Loving these rainbows. And neon tetras, I'm gonna be moving. I have 7 that are almost done with quarantine, so that'll make 14. 7 in there, 7 in quarantine, right here. And here I have a new plant, hair grass. It's already starting to carpet. You can see I just put clumps of it in, and it's already spreading toward backwards there, and right here. So they're beginning to grow. Actually, while I'm here, I did this interesting experiment where I mixed calcium carbonate with hydrogen acetate, acetic acid, vinegar, and it made these interesting crystals, which I'm assuming is our calcium acetate. I really have absolutely no idea what I can use these crystals for, but it's cool because I made a new chemical, a new salt that I've never made before, and the crystal structure is really interesting, although you probably can hardly see because the quality is really bad. Yeah. My next salt I'll try to make is sodium acetate from sodium bicarbonate or sodium carbonate. I don't know. I'm taking chemistry in school, getting starting to make some chemicals. So that's a new chemical I made. Oh yeah, and there's a seashell, so a source of calcium carbonate. Although here I used pure calcium carbonate. Here I didn't. I just put vinegar on a seashell, a clamshell. Anyway, this tank. Okay. So you'll notice I took away all the dwarf sedge from this half of the tank again. The water lily's doing okay. It actually sent a new water lily, so that water lily made another one. And if it's not died yet, I kind of neglected it for a couple of weeks. Let's get it out now. I'm gonna have to take the lid off because I only have this small space to work with. It's hard. You know, you just take the lids off when I do major work on the tank. I remembered from the previous aquatic experience that I came up to Dustin and he was giving out these stickers. So, you know, I found that and took that out and put it on here. Looks pretty nice. These are Pongetons, or however you pronounce it. Gotta remember to figure that out, actually, because I don't think I'm pronouncing it right. But two of them, they're doing great. They're still sending up flowers. Who knows? Maybe they'll reproduce sexually. That would be pretty nice. Because, you know, you don't want to have a bunch of plants with the same genome. All of this dwarf sedge that's all clones. So whatever kills one of them will kill all of them. I guess it's not that relevant in a fish tank because conditions will always be stable and safe. In a fish tank there aren't any parasites, but it's very bad for surviving in nature. You want to have genetic variation, and that's what sexual reproduction's for. So yeah, so all of that has the same genome, all that dwarf sedge. It's pretty sad. But I have saw a video recently, I forget who put it out, but oh right, I forget who put it out, but some fish tank channel showed that their dwarf sedge sent up flowers to the top. Mine never did that yet, hasn't done that yet. I really hope that it will though. Okay, this Cranum calamastratum is doing nice right there. It's probably going to take it a year to start growing again though. And here in the back I have pothos right there growing and pothos right there growing. This one's newer. Put it there. You'll notice in this tank the water level is lower. That's because I put the spray bar low when I set the filter up, and I kind of want to have that. You know, that's the reason of the spray bar, the surface agitation. So actually right after this video probably I'll go in there and fix that, set the spray bar higher and fill it up.